morning. Oof, that was enthusiastic, wasn't it? Believe me, I am not feeling that level of enthusiasm in real life. It's 20 to 1, so it's not even morning anymore, is it? It's Monday. It's been a beautiful morning. It was so icy this morning. I think it's the last day of cold though, and we're going back to warm and wet tomorrow. So I made the most this morning, went for a walk around the lake, which was really enjoyable but freezing cold. Got a new lipstick as well, which I'm really quite pleased with. I've decided to try and wear slightly brighter lipstick than I usually do. God, I can't speak. And I feel like the nudie colours, but as you get older, your lips, I've gone off at a tangent, I wasn't intending to say this at all. As you get older, the line of your lips blurs, doesn't it? I'm doing a 30-day test on that very expensive lip product out of the Liberty Advent Calendar, which you will see in a future videos I can't speak. You will see in a future video when I have finished the 30-day test, but it's made me look at my lips a lot, because it's a product you put on your lips. And I feel like as you get older, well, I don't feel like it, it happens, your lip line blurs and your lip line isn't as clear as it used to be, is it? So I feel like maybe wearing the very nude colours that I tend to gravitate towards are not doing anything for me, or not very much, or I need to wear a lip liner or something, or a brighter colour. So I've got a brighter colour lipstick on and I'm quite liking it. God, that was a lengthy explanation, wasn't it? Anyway, how was everybody's weekend? Ours was okay. You know, it's the last week of January now, and I think we're all starting to find lockdown hard, aren't we? I'm missing human contact with my friends, really missing that. Yeah, and I'd love to just go and wander around the shops and, you know, just go to the pub and all of the things that we can't do. We all just want to do them, don't we? But it's okay. It is what it is, isn't it? And, you know, we must just crack on, really, I guess. Anyway, I've just had a lovely parcel arrive from a lovely viewer in Australia, and I wanted to show you what she sent me. She sent me a lovely card with a letter inside. Look at how pretty that is, the rose card. I won't show you the letter because that's a personal letter, so I won't read that to you. But she sent me this gorgeous book about a guy who went to Kangaroo Island after the bushfires in Australia and rescued a lot of the wildlife, and there's just some lovely, I can't wait to read it actually, I'm really excited about it. Look at that, just look. So yeah, oh, bless. Just lovely pictures, and so I'm really excited to read that. And bless her, Jenny, her name is Jenny, I don't know if I said that. She sent some Tim Tams, which they look like equivalent of penguins? And those are for my dad, so I think Jenny must have remembered that I mentioned my dad had a very sweet tooth and really enjoyed sweets and biscuits. That's so kind. I'm going to see my parents next week, Jenny, so I will take those with me and I will tell him that you've sent them all the way from Australia, so thank you. So I will thank you, obviously, personally anyway, but what a sweet thing to do, what a lovely gift. And also, she sent me this beautiful hardback book, which is the selected stories of Henry Lawson, who I haven't heard of, but she's also sent me some information about Henry Lawson here, who is a Australian writer. And then one of the short stories from here, this is a novelised version, a modern novel version of one of the short stories in this book, by somebody called Leah Purcell, who she's an Australian actress, director and writer, and also sent me some information about that. So I'm very much looking forward to reading both of those as well. Thank you so much, Jenny. Such a lovely way to start the week, to get such a lovely parcel. So that really is nice, and thank you for thinking of my dad. That's so nice. Probably should just add that I am allowed to go and see my parents under COVID regulations, although they are in a bubble with my brother who lives close to them, so it's better for them to be in a bubble with him in case they need anything urgently. I am allowed to go under the rules for respite care to give my mum a break from caring 24/7 for my dad, so it is all above board and within the COVID rules. I just want to say that in case anybody thinks it's not. Yeah, anyway, that's the start of Monday. No plans for the week, really. Actually, that's not true. I did make myself a little list of things I wanted to do this week, and one of them is sorting out my cupboard with my bookcase in and various other things, which I'll show you a bit later. But now I'm going to remove these chocolate biscuits from the sunshine on the table, otherwise they'll be melted by the time I get them to Bournemouth. Just deleting emails trying to sell me stuff. About 3 o'clock. How was it 3 o'clock? And I've come across one from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Charlotte Tilbury. I find I've got an eyeshadow palette, very expensive, that I do actually quite like, but I've never been tempted by anything else from Charlotte Tilbury at all. I think it's really expensive. Which I wouldn't mind if I thought there was something that I really, really needed, but I don't think there is. But I'm tempted by this, and I'll tell you for why. This is a lipstick balm. And look at the claims on this. Visibly plumps the look of lips after 28 days by 169%. Lips are visibly smoother by 181%. I mean, that is big claims, isn't it? So I'm tempted to buy one to do a 30-day trial video on. I've got a few products that I've got on the go doing them, or that I've got ideas for. I'm in the middle of one test, as you know, for something that I've talked about before, which you'll see at some point soon. But I think that might be quite an interesting one, because those claims are big, aren't they? It's 25 quid, but they do look quite nice products as well. What do you reckon? Should I do that or not? It's getting on for 6 o'clock. Ashley should be home from work soon. Can't remember if I told you or not that he's ordered a new treadmill. The one with all the bells and whistles, unsurprisingly, as I guessed he would last week. That's coming on Wednesday, so that'll be good. I thought I would just give you, several people have asked me if I would do an update on my journey to improve my health, upon which I am embarking this year, as I have mentioned before. And I thought I would do just a very informal sort of update once a month in these weekly vlogs. And I am pleased to report that during January, I have lost just over 9 pounds in weight, so that's good. I'm not following a particular eating plan. I've done enough diets in my life, done them and started and failed, and in various degrees of failingness, to know what I should be putting in my mouth and what I shouldn't be putting in my mouth. So, as I've said before, I want this to be a sustainable long-term change, so embarking upon any sort of regime where I'm limited as to what I can eat. For example, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, keto, cabbage soup diet, any and all of the above, intermittent fasting, all of those. Not for me. As I say, I know what's healthy, I know what's not healthy, and that's what I've been doing, just trying to make good, healthy choices. I've also upped my exercise. As you know, I loathe and detest exercise. I will never like it, but it needs to be done in order to maintain and continue with weight loss. Sorry, I'm tidying up as I'm talking to you here. So yeah, that's where I am with that. So overall, a positive start. I think probably the fact that I've done dry January, other than Saturday night, so when lockdown happened, I decided to give myself Saturday nights off because, frankly, we all need something to look forward to in these times, don't we? So I've done dry January apart from Saturday nights, and I really think that has helped me. And yeah, I'm feeling overall healthier. I don't know if it's sorted out or is on the way to sorting out any of my ailments, but losing a bit of weight and feeling healthier and sleeping better for sure. Getting outside to go walking quite a lot. All good stuff, all positive really. Good morning, it's Tuesday. Starting my day, going through all of that lot to look for one dress that I've sold that wasn't, that fell through the system of stock, whatever the box it should be in, it's not in. I've so far searched all of the ones against this wall up to here. I've just got these 6, actually one of those is shoes, so 5 there, another 3 there, and then about another 6 on the end to go through. Did the rest yesterday. Oh, hate it when this happens. I found it, so that's good. If I'd started from the opposite end of the boxes, from the end I started at, I would have found it in the first box. But that's just life, isn't it? Hello, it is 1 o'clock. I've had a very busy morning. I knew today was going to be busy. I had quite a lot to get done. And I haven't got it all done yet, but I've filmed and prepared a video. Just filmed another one that needs to be edited this afternoon. And I haven't done the eBay yet today. It's all go today, and I went out for a walk in the pouring rain as well, which wasn't very nice. But I'm going to have to stop for some lunch because I'm hungry. And also, I need to watch an episode of Married at First Sight Australia because I think there was another one on last night, so it should be available on the on-demand thingamajig. It's about 20 to 5, something like that. And I'm off to the supermarket because I think I'm going to go to Sainsbury's. Because, oh God, that's not a nice light, is it? Let's reverse from that. That's terrifying. I'm going to Sainsbury's. Ashley was meant to pick up a cup. We're going to have a stir fry for dinner, and my shopping order isn't coming till later in the week this week. I couldn't get a slot for, I usually get a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I couldn't get one till Thursday, so we're down to the remnants of the fridge at this point, and we're going to have a prawn stir fry, and can't find any prawns, so Ashley was going to pick up some prawns and some bean sprouts, but he is absolutely snowed under at work, and he's probably going to be late anyway, so I thought I'd just pop out and get the bits that we need, because we need some milk as well, and I fancy a cup of tea. So I'm going to go to Sainsbury's, because we also need some sweet paprika, which I can only get in Sainsbury's. That's the only place I know locally that does it, so I'm going to go to Sainsbury's. It's the first time I've left the house to do something other than go for a walk. Oh, not that long ago actually, because I went to Aldi last week, didn't I? A week ago I think I went to Aldi. I don't know, all the days bloody blur into one, to be honest. I've had a really, I feel like I've achieved today. I've got loads done, but I also feel a bit brain dead from it. A lot of editing, a lot of filming, a lot of making links for description boxes and things like that, but I should have a couple of days free of filming other than this vlog for the next couple of days, so I can get on with some housey stuff. I want to do my pantry cupboard, and I want to do a makeup declutter. I do declutter my makeup quite regularly, so there probably won't be much to declutter, but the cupboard's a bit untidy and I thought it's worth going through it again. It's probably 6 months since I last did it, maybe a year. So I want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking to you and go to Sainsbury's and get my bits and pieces. Time for a little bit of real talk. I'm outside Sainsbury's. I don't know if you can see Sainsbury's over there. I've just been in and done my shopping. And I've been feeling a bit low today. I saw on some social media somewhere this morning something about a joking post about, oh, it's almost a year since they told us 2 weeks to flatten the curve, so that's going well, isn't it? And it, you know, it was quite funny, but yeah, it is. It's almost a year, and I've just been in Sainsbury's, and I needed to get a card for Will because it's his 21st birthday next week, and card shops aren't open, and I have actually ordered him a special card on Etsy, but I did it too late because I kind of forgot that card shops aren't open. So I went into Sainsbury's and there was a choice of 2 21st birthday cards. 2. And it just made me feel, oh God, everything's so shit, isn't it? It's just, you go along and you're all right, and you're all right, and you're all right, and then something, there's a straw that breaks the camel's back, you know, and I could have wept. My son's going to be 21. I'm not even going to see him on his 21st birthday. You know, in the past we would have gone up to Bath and taken him and his mates out for dinner or something, and been able to celebrate with him, and now he's not even going to be able to go out for a drink with his mates. And yes, I know there's people in hospitals and all worse off than me, I bloody know that, but it doesn't make it any better, does it, when you go into a shop and there's a choice of 2 21st birthday cards, and that's the best you're going to be able to do in terms of you're buying your son a 21st birthday card, and it's such a little thing, it's so unimportant in the big scheme of things, and it just made me so sad. Okay, I've pulled myself together a bit. I've been trying really hard to keep things very positive on here, but I know that a lot of you are struggling and things are difficult, aren't they? It's difficult for everybody, and no one needs to apologise for how they feel or what their straw is that breaks their camel's back. This is about honesty, isn't it? This is real life, and it's shit. It's just utterly shit, and the news is just so bad all the time, and sometimes it just gets on top of you. And I just wanted you to know that I'm not this mad, happy woman all the time. I do struggle as well, as much as the next person. So, yeah, that was my little breakdown for the day. Good morning. It's Wednesday. With every fibre of my being today, I wanted to stay in bed, hide my head under the duvet, and have a day off from the world. But then, the world really is not really available to have a day off from at the moment, is it? It's God, it's slippery underfoot this morning, very wet after yesterday's rain. Well, the rain for the last 3 months really, I guess. Yeah, I didn't want to get up, but I knew that I would feel better if I got out for a walk. It's about 9:15, and on my usual circuit of the lake. Plans for today: go home, find some stuff to do. Groundhog Day really, isn't it? Not in the best frame of mind, as you can tell today, but it will be alright. I'm going to do my walk, go home and have some breakfast. I feel like I haven't got loads to do today because I had a really busy day yesterday with videos and editing and stuff. So I'm going to list a few bits on eBay, and I might do my makeup declutter later on, I think. There's a squirrel just there going up the tree, and oh, he's gone behind the tree trunk now. Marvellous bit of filming that. Anyway, yes, that's the plans for today. Walk is done. Am I feeling any better? Probably a little bit, but I was going to film some nice bits of the lake for you today. Took my camera with me and everything, but it was the bleakest, most depressing, grey, damp outlook. I filmed some bits and I looked through sorry, I'm dribbling. I filmed some bits and I looked through the back at them, and they just, God, it's bleak today. I don't know if that's exacerbated by my mood, but oh my God, yes, just dark. So January. Today is so January. Well, it's lunchtime. It's just after 1, I think. Hang on, just let me pick that up off the floor. And I've spent the morning doing brain dead type jobs, really. I've just been giving the cinema room a really good clean. The cleaner doesn't clean in there, she only does the main living spaces. And I decided to give it a really good clean and spot clean the carpet. There were loads of little marks on the carpet and they've almost all gone. I've just got one more little area of the carpet to do after lunch. But I'm having a break now. I am having some homemade chunky chicken and vegetable soup with a Warburton thin with a slice of Emmental light, I think, in it, and a pint of orange squash. Well, as if this week wasn't difficult enough already, struggling through, I've just discovered that I have managed to lose almost all the footage of my Rick Stein meal review video, which was planned for next Wednesday. I've got the first bit, but none of the actual food, or I remember deleting everything off my SD card, and just at the beginning of the week before I started the weekly vlog, and of course I filmed it all on Saturday, I just completely forgot it was on there. So I've just spent an hour and a half trying to recover it using some recovery software, which did find a load of files on my SD card, but it didn't show me what it had found. It was just random numbers, and then it wanted me to pay £100 to actually recover them. And I don't even know if the footage I want was there because it didn't have the file names on. So I can't really justify spending £100 to possibly get some files back that I've lost. Oh, I've now got a horrible headache. Morning, it's Thursday. I'm just trying on this new top I got. It's from Amazon and I quite like it. I'm quite pleased with it. I bought it in a 20 to 22. It was either 2022 or 24-26, and a lot of people said to size up, but I avoided sizing up. This is in the reviews. And I quite like it. I'm pleased with it. The only thing I would say about it is that I ordered it in a bright pink colour and it wasn't as bright pink. This is definitely more coral, but I actually quite like the coral colour. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep that one. I'll link it in the description box if you're interested. It was £10 or something, I think. Bargain it was. Anyway, I'm going to just get changed back and then I will come and talk to you again. So I don't know how to start this, so I'm just going to jump right on in. Trigger warning, or just in case you're listening to this with kids around, there will no doubt be swearing in this portion. It's going to be very ranty, so just if you don't like swearing, probably best to fast forward a bit. I joined TikTok last week just for something to do, to pass a bit of time, to watch the video. I've no intention of making my own TikToks. I feel like the time has passed for me to be a TikToker. But one thing that's really struck me in watching TikTok, and I haven't delved massively into it, but I do enjoy a few minutes of just flicking through the videos every day, is how open so many of the TikTokers are in responding to unpleasant and unnecessary and abusive and rude comments, and belittling the people who have left them a rude comment in a very witty and entertaining way. Now, I don't think I'm witty or entertaining enough to do that, but I've actually really enjoyed watching those videos calling out people on their bad behaviour and rudeness. The prescribed way to deal with trolls historically is to ignore it and soldier on, isn't it? And unfortunately there is a lot of unpleasantness and not even high level abuse, although having said that, in the last week I've been told that my son must be absolutely disgusted with my behaviour on the internet, making videos on the internet, and that also that my husband's having an affair. So that was nice. That was a ranty selection of comments left from some vile woman under a made-up name. She'd made the account specially to leave those comments, it seemed, as she'd only joined YouTube that day. 3 o'clock in the morning. I think she probably had too much to drink, but hey, that was nice to wake up to anyway. But where was I going with that? But sometimes it's the more low-level, insidious, snarky things that get to you more. And generally, now, I believe that it shouldn't be okay to be abusive from behind a keyboard or be rude from behind a keyboard. Or I think when you communicate on the internet, there should be an obligation, or any decent human being should feel an obligation to read through what they're typing after they've typed it and reflect whether that could be taken in not the way you mean it. You know, have you worded it appropriately? But that's obviously not the case, is it? And yeah, usually I deal with it quite well. I feel like this is coming out all really muddled, but it's something that I'm really struggling with a bit at the moment. So apologies if it all sounds a bit garbled, but there seems to be a feeling that if you put yourself on the internet, in the public domain, it's okay for people to abuse you and be unpleasant to you and be rude to you and all of those things. And let me just say that the vast majority, I've said this before, of you are absolutely lovely to me, and I'm very grateful for that, and I love chatting to you and, you know, reading your comments and trying your recommendations and all that sort of thing. But some people are just so unpleasant, and when you're low anyway, and don't get me wrong, I feel like I'm almost shouldn't tell you when I'm feeling low, because I feel like there's a, what's she feeling bloody low about? What's she got to moan about, sitting in her great big bloody house with all her money and her nice car and 3 foreign holidays a year, yada yada, you know. If money brought happiness and freedom from worries and freedom from being scared during a global pandemic and not dealing with the 3rd lockdown quite as well as you'd hoped you would do, then, you know, yes, I'd be bloody laughing, wouldn't I? But sadly, it doesn't matter what size your house is, everybody feels down occasionally. And I feel like I should hide that, because there is this perception from some people, you know. And then you get things like, yesterday I put up a Marks and Spencer's online shopping video, as you know. It wasn't like a come shop with me, where I go into the store and film everything and, you know, chat through it. And, you know, you can't do that at the moment. You can't go out at the moment. We're limited as to what we can film. It's very hard to be wonderfully creative when you are literally stuck in a house or out for a walk. It's very hard to come up with interesting content that, you know, it's hard. And that, I thought that might be something a little bit different from what I've been doing, and everybody's got an online shop at the moment, so I just thought it would be interesting. And then someone said in the comments, I don't suppose your overseas viewers enjoyed that very much, did they? And I mean, what do they want? What was the point of that comment? I live in the UK. I am a UK YouTuber. I spend quite a lot of time browsing UK-based shops, unsurprisingly, on the internet while I'm in lockdown, because it's something that I can do. And yeah, why would I do a Nordstrom shop with me or a Walmart shop with me? We can't get their things here. I mean, I'm not forcing anybody from overseas to watch the bloody video, and that's my Tesco delivery. I'll be back. Right, I'm back from Tesco delivery. Bloody love Tesco's. No substitutions, lovely driver. Honestly, big shout out to Tesco's during this global pandemic, I have to say. They've been brilliant for me. Yeah, why leave a comment like that? I mean, if an American YouTuber makes a video, for example, or an Australian one, or any other country at all, that I'm not interested in because it's something I can't get in the UK, then I don't watch. But I actually find it quite interesting to see what you can get in other countries. But I totally get that people wouldn't, but is there any need to leave that comment? It just, when you're feeling low anyway, and you see, and you've tried to do something a little bit different, and you've put time into it, and you see that, you just, oh God, you know. And then several of you did say about the speed I was scrolling, and I did ask for constructive criticism on that video, and yeah, you were quite right, absolutely right, I have to say, that when I watched it back, the scrolling was far too fast. So if I do another one of those, I will certainly slow that down. So thank you for that. That was helpful to point that out. I'm glad you did. But And then another video I made recently, I can't remember, it was the last clothing video I did. Oh, when I did my outfits of the week, shop my wardrobe, that one. Someone left a comment on that saying that they were, and to be fair, this was worded very politely. It was worded politely, I will say that. But they were disappointed that I promoted fast fashion all the time and I should do hauls of sustainable, ethical clothing. And you know, I hold my hands up. I like fast fashion. I get bored with clothes quite easily. I like to buy clothes cheaply and then pass them on or sell them on and buy new ones. I do like fast fashion. I know that fast fashion isn't the most ethical thing, but I do enjoy it, as do a lot of other people. Otherwise it wouldn't exist, would I? And then of course you get that if I did hauls of sustainable ethical clothing and only talked about that and didn't talk about the clothes that I actually liked, A, that would be really disingenuous, wouldn't it? And I'd be bored because I was pretending to be something that I wasn't. And B, I'd be accused of only showing expensive things that your average people couldn't afford. So I think the point of this is that you're never going to please all the people all the time. And by nature, I'm a bit of a people pleaser. I don't like people to be disappointed in what I'm doing, but equally, I don't want to continue to accept that it's okay to be rude. I don't want to feel that I need to apologise for who I am or dilute who I am in any way. But the point of this whole rant, if you like, is that having watched the people on TikTok answering back, I think I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to publicly name and shame and answer back the vile comments rather than just, you know, when it wounds me, why shouldn't I talk about it? I have a platform here. Why shouldn't I point out that it's not okay to behave like that in a public forum? Why should I not do that? And equally, I don't want to have to apologise for liking fast fashion and not showing ethical clothing. We all try and do our bit for the environment. Maybe you feel that I could do more. You'd be quite right. Of course I could do more for the environment, but I'm not. If you're interested in seeing people do hauls of sustainable, ethical clothing, this is not the channel for you. I am not going to change and bend what I am. I don't think the majority of viewers want me to change who I am and dilute who I am to try and please some faceless, nameless keyboard warrior who frankly will never be pleased anyway, because they're starting from a point of they don't like me and want to tell me how much they don't like me or what I'm doing or how what I'm doing isn't good enough or it's wrong or I haven't done it in that way. Or you'll never please all the people all the time, and I think it's about time I started saying fuck it, I'm just going to carry on being who I am, and if people don't like that, then it's their problem. I'm not making them watch it, you know. And honestly, I felt like I feel like YouTube used to be more fun when I didn't put this pressure on myself to try to dilute the sort of things that I want to say and show and talk about a lot. Because if every time you pick up the camera you're thinking, hang on, how could that be interpreted? Could that be interpreted in a way that I'm showing off, or I'm not doing something with the COVID? I know so many YouTubers I see saying, but don't worry, it's all in the COVID regulations, that you know what I'm doing, it's all okay. And they're terrified of, you know, some sort of backlash or criticism. And I think, yeah, that's sort of how I feel about it. Just watching these people on TikTok answering back the unpleasant comments just made me think, yeah, that's what I want to be like. I don't want to take this sitting down and take the high road and ignore it and pretend it's okay. I think if you're going to leave a shitty, rude comment about me or about what I'm doing here, you know, fuck off. I'm not dealing with that anymore. You're going to be called out and we're going to discuss what you said and whether it's appropriate, you know. Anyway, that's how I'm feeling. Very feisty this morning. That was a long old rant, wasn't it? I'm going to have to cut that one down a bit. Right, stay at the side of my sink. I'm sad to tell you that my little frothy coffee maker isn't frothing milk as well as it was when I first got it. So yesterday I hardly frothed it at all. Today I've got a little bit of froth, but not an awful lot. It's not doing as well as it was when I first had it, sadly. I looked on the internet and there was various suggestions that the milk could be faulty, as in it could be not enough fat content or not fresh enough or too much fat content. So I've tried different milks, hasn't made any difference, and they said it could need a really good clean. Well, I give it a really good clean every time I use it, but I gave it an extra good clean, took the little frothy bit out and cleaned that extra well. And it's definitely not as good as it was, so I might rescind my recommendation for little coffee frothers because I think it's on its last legs. It doesn't seem good at all. Anyway, I've just made myself a coffee. That was what that ramble was all about. And we're going to go and do some makeup decluttering. Looking forward to this. I feel like it's going to be good to have that cupboard sorted. This one here that I keep on the top of my dressing table, this is where I keep my sort of currently in rotation makeup, and I switch that around. I can't remember, I bought this, it was somewhere online. I will link it below if I can find it again, but it was a while ago. Don't judge me, my bed's not made and my sofa's an absolute, well, judge me if you like, I don't mind. My sofa's an absolute tip. I think one of my February goals is going to be clearing that sofa every day because it's got completely out of hand. Yeah, so this is where I keep my sort of everyday makeup that I go to every day, and I switch that out fairly regularly. And then the rest of my makeup, excluding eyeshadow palettes, is down in this cupboard under here. There's other things down here as well, so what I'm going to do is pull out all the makeup type stuff. Look at all those perfumes, so many perfumes. I did very well at one perfume for Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to pull out all the makeup and then we're going to go through it box by box. It's all sort of categorised. This cupboard up here, which is cupboard at the end of my bedroom, this is where I keep my eyeshadow palettes. As you know, I'm currently doing a little project. Let me turn you around so you can see me again. Well, that's dark. Let's get out of the cupboard. Yeah, I'm currently doing a project with all my eyeshadow palettes, using every single colour in every single palette. Going through them one palette at a time I've got about 50 palettes. I watched someone on YouTube yesterday who had 123, so I don't feel too bad about palettes at all. 50 seems perfectly reasonable after having watched that. So, yeah. Eyeshadow palettes are my thing. Eyeshadow palettes and candles. Somebody asked me last week which one I would give up if I had to give up one, and the answer is, that's like asking me to choose a favourite child, and I couldn't possibly. Couldn't possibly. Anyway, back to eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, I'm working my way through them, so that is a slow declutter process. I've already found 2 that I've got rid of, and I'm going through them. These are the ones. There's 4 drawers here, a big one in the side that doesn't fit in the drawer, and another little overflow box here. And then these are the ones down to here that I've already tried, checked that I still like. So those are the ones that I've gone through already. And these are what is still to go through here. So that's an ongoing project. But today I'm going to concentrate on going through all of these. So this one, and then here we've got foundations and primers. Here we've got that sort of highlighters and bronzers. That's lips. That's cheeks. That is mascaras and eye pencils, I think. And that is single eyeshadows there. So that's what we're going to go through today. Right, that didn't take too long. I've rearranged. I think I've reduced the number of boxes by 1. And these are all rearranged to keep and go back in the cupboard, but I need to tidy the rest of the cupboard out first. And then I've got a little pot here for things I think I may want to get rid of, but I want to try them first to see. I've got a couple of single eyeshadows. God, I've had those for years. They were £1 from Makeup Revolution when they very first started, and I actually had 3. There's this one as well. They are just gorgeous, gorgeous colours, but I don't know if they're still any good. This one I do use quite regularly. As you can see, I've hit pan on that one. I'm going to depot that and put it into, this is what I've been doing with, hang on, I need 2 hands to open this. This is what I've been doing with eyeshadows from palettes. If I've found a palette where there's just one colour that I want to keep, or 2 colours, I've been depotting them and putting them in here. Just a magnetic eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to depot that one. I know I definitely want to keep that one, and also put that in here. I'm not sure I want to keep all these. These are Makeup Revolution singles that a lot are quite similar to each other, and they weren't the best quality, so I need to go through those and see if I want to keep them. But these are the ones from depotted from other palettes, so that one's going to go in there. Then these bits and pieces, a couple of eye pencils and a single Colourpop eyeshadow and some other bits and pieces in there that I just want to try to make sure whether or not. And then this little pile here is what I'm getting rid of. This is a little powder from Freedom, which is part of Makeup Revolution, that the packaging broke as my bugbear. These 2 cream stick blushes from e.l.f. I loved these. I think they made it into a favourites video. And then I realised that they had giant chunky glitter, multicoloured glitter in them. And I'm just too old for blusher with chunky coloured glitter in. The actual formula and the sticks are beautiful. Let me show you what they look like. They're just really nice. This has nostalgia attached to it, this blusher. It's a Bourjois one, and sorry, I'm just trying to put that away now. Let me put it to one side. It's a Bourjois one. This was from when I very first watched YouTube, and this was meant to be a dupe for something more expensive, and everybody went on about it. And this is actually my second one of those, and I loved it back in the day. But I think it's gone past its best now, and I don't really like that colour anymore either. Sad times, but yeah, I've got a lot of nostalgia attached to that, but it's time for it to go. This I bought when I was in America. I love this formula. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with the packaging of this, and when I pull it out, pull the doe foot applicator out, it has so much product on it, and it gets super messy every time I use it. It's also a little bit bright for me. I've got another one of these in a much paler shade, and I love this, the Hydrating Lip Shine. You can't get it in this country for some reason. I don't know why, because you can get Neutrogena. This I think was a freebie with something. It's a contouring powder, and I just don't need that at all. And this is a little tiny lip gloss, which I don't dislike. My mum gave it to me. I think she got it in something, and I've used about half of it, but I keep forgetting I have it, and it's gone a bit, it's a little bit on the sticky side, and every time I put it into here to use, it hides behind here because it's too short to stick up, and I forget it's in there and don't use it. So I've decided that with regret that's going to go. I've had quite a good go at it. This is an e.l.f. powder. It's the Prime and Glow finishing powder. Every time I use it, it breaks up. I don't know if you can see, it's got little bits in there. Bits just flake off, and it's just really messy to use. I've had a good go with it, but yeah, it's time for that one to go. This is a single Colourpop Super Shock eyeshadow, which the colour just doesn't suit me. It's a very bright goldy bronze, and it's just not a colour that suits me. This is a Clarins eyeshadow, a single one. I think this must have been a free gift or something with points, and I just don't love it. It's just a bog standard neutral purpley matte eyeshadow that's not particularly good, and I don't need it. I've got lots of others that I like. This was an expensive and ridiculous buy. Bobbi Brown eye gloss. YouTube influenced me. I decided, who invented lip gloss for the eyelids? Just a ridiculous idea. I don't know why I bought it, and that is going. I cannot recommend it. I bet they don't even still sell it. That's a eyeliner which has disappeared completely out of its packaging. I think it's either dried up or fallen out, and that is a beauty powder, Beauty Pie finishing powder. Looks like a bronzer, but it's not. It's Moonlighting Balm powder, and it's just a little bit past its best, and the packaging's breaking, and time for it to go. So that's all the stuff I'm getting rid of. The stuff that is still usable will be all passed on to my niece, who I pass on lots of makeup to, and she very much appreciates it and enjoys it. And no doubt my sister-in-law will look at it, and my mum, and they'll all pick out the bits they want. So it does all go to a good home, despite the fact it's been used. I don't just bin it. Right, I'm going to finish off tidying out the cupboard, and then it must be time for lunch, I think. Right, all sorted. Honestly, the joy I get from looking at that cupboard is immense. All organised, everything in its place, a place for everything. Just love it. Good morning. Oh, let's get some focus. Good morning, it's Friday. I'm just back from my walk. It's about 9 o'clock. It's blowy and damp out there this morning. Not very nice, but yeah, anyway, just got back from my walk. I'm just making some breakfast. I'm quite hungry this morning, unusually for me. And this is today's breakfast concoction. I've got a slice of bacon cut in half and then put around the outside of this is, what's it called? That stuff, yes, you know what I mean. And filled it up with chopped spinach. It's actually chopped mixed salad because I've fished out the spinachy bits and tried to leave everything else out. And some chopped tomato, and I'm just about to fill the cups up with egg. There's 2 eggs whisked with garlic granules, salt and pepper. And I'm going to top it with a little tiny bit of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese, and bake it in the oven for 20 minutes or something. We'll see how it... Silicone, that's the word for the muffin tray. Silicone. Almost forgot to film them. Took a bite already. They're really, really tasty. They took about 16 or 17 minutes in the oven, and they're really nice. Right, I think it's time to say goodbye. I'm right in the middle of the edit, and it's a long one again. I hope you're not minding these longer ones. I don't think it's quite as long as last week's, but I hope you're finding them okay and not over long. But it seems like Monday to Friday is quite a long time. Perhaps I'll do some that are just one day in the life. Just to make them a little bit shorter occasionally. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I hope you had a good week, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.